Have you ever wanted to change something in your life, but couldn't keep going? Maybe you started learning English. The first day, you were excited. You watched videos, you took notes, you said, "This time I will not stop." But after a few days, you felt tired. You missed one day, then two. And soon, your book stayed on the table. Closed. That's when many people think, maybe I'm not good enough. But the truth is, it's not about being good. It's about being consistent. So, what does consistency mean? Consistency means doing something again and again. It means showing up, even when you don't feel like it. It means keeping your promise, not to someone else, but to yourself. Some people think success comes from big actions, but real success comes from small actions, repeated many times. Every time you practice, every time you listen, you are building a bridge. A bridge from today to your future. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to do everything. You just need to do one thing again and again. Think of this. If you study English 10 minutes every day, that's consistency. If you listen to one short story each morning, that's consistency. If you speak one English sentence before bed, that's consistency. It looks small, but it's powerful. Because small steps don't scare your brain. They don't make you feel tired. They make you feel safe. And when you feel safe, you can grow. I want to tell you a short story. One of my students, May, once said to me, "Teacher, I always start strong, but I give up fast." I smiled and said, "Okay, then let's try something different. Don't study for 1 hour. Study for 5 minutes." She laughed. 5 minutes? That's too easy. But she tried. Every evening after dinner, she opened her notebook for 5 minutes. She learned one new word, one sentence, one small thing. Sometimes she studied 10 minutes, sometimes only 3. But she didn't stop. After 1 month, she said, "Teacher, I feel more comfortable. My English sounds better." After 3 months, she could speak simple conversations. After 6 months, she could understand English songs. She didn't become fluent in one day. She became fluent one small step at a time, because she was consistent. Now think about this. What if you do the same? What if you stop asking for perfect days and start trusting small steps? When you do something again and again, your mind starts to change. You build confidence. You build trust with yourself. And one day, you wake up and realize it's not hard anymore. It's part of you. Consistency is not about doing more. It's about not giving up. It's the quiet power that helps you grow, even when no one is watching. So remember this line. Big success is just small effort, repeated many times. That's what consistency really means. And that's where real change begins. Now you know what consistency means. But maybe you ask yourself, if it's so simple, why is it so hard? The answer is not that you are lazy. It's because your brain loves comfort. Your brain always says, "Let's do it later. Let's rest today." And sometimes you listen. When something feels big or difficult, your brain tries to protect you. It says, "This is too much." Stop. That's normal. Every person feels this way. But here's something important. Your brain can also learn new habits. When you repeat one small action, your brain starts to build a path. At first, the path is small, like a line in the sand. When you repeat the same action again, the line becomes deeper. It becomes easier to follow. That's how habits are born. The more you do something, the less energy you need to do it again. So the secret is not to do more. The secret is to make it easy to start. Don't fight your brain. Work with it. If studying English feels hard, make it small. 5 minutes is enough. One page, one video, one sentence. You might think, 5 minutes cannot change my life, but it can. Because 5 minutes every day is more powerful than 1 hour once a week. Why? Because your brain remembers what you do often, not what you do rarely. Think about brushing your teeth. You don't do it for 1 hour on Sunday. You do it for 2 minutes every day. That's why it works. That's why your teeth stay clean. Learning English, learning any skill, is the same. Small, regular steps build a strong base. Let me tell you a story. There is a story about bamboo. When you plant bamboo, nothing happens for a long time. 1 year, 2 years, 3, 4, even 5 years, still nothing. You water it, you take care of it, but you don't see any growth. And then suddenly, in 1 week, the bamboo grows more than 6 feet tall. How? Because during those 5 years, it was growing roots under the ground. It was preparing to rise. Your English is like bamboo. Your progress may be invisible at first, but every word, every minute, every small effort is growing roots inside you. And one day, when you least expect it, you will realize you can speak, you can understand, you can express yourself. That is the power of small steps. That is the power of not giving up. So, how can you make consistency easier? Here are a few simple ways. First, connect your habit to something you already do. For example, after you drink your morning coffee, listen to one short English clip. After you brush your teeth, repeat one English phrase. This is called habit linking. It helps your brain remember. Second, keep your tools ready. If you always need to search for your notebook, you'll lose time and energy. Keep it where you can see it. Make it easy to begin. Third, celebrate small wins. Say to yourself, I did it. Even if it's just 5 minutes, smile. That small feeling of pride gives your brain a reward. It tells your mind, this is good. Let's do it again. When you feel tired, remember, you don't need to do everything. You just need to begin again. Consistency is not about being strong all the time. It's about coming back again and again. Even when you fall, you stand up. Even when you miss one day, you return the next day. That is how you grow. The people who keep going, even slowly, are the ones who change. Because slow is not weak, slow is steady, and steady wins in the end. That's how you make consistency easier. Not by pushing harder, but by being kind to yourself and starting small. Now that you know how to stay consistent, let's talk about what happens when you keep going long enough. The quiet magic that consistency creates in your life. When you stay consistent, something beautiful begins to happen. At first, you only see small changes. You know a few more words. You understand one more sentence. You feel a little more confident. But slowly, something deeper changes inside you. You start to trust yourself. You start to believe, I can do this. Consistency builds habits. Habits make life easier. When something becomes a habit, you don't have to think about it anymore. You just do it. It becomes natural, like breathing, like walking. In the beginning, you ask yourself every day, should I study today? But after a while, you don't ask anymore. You simply sit down, open your book, and begin. That's the moment when learning becomes part of who you are. Consistency doesn't just change your skills, it changes your identity. You don't just learn English, you become an English learner. You don't just practice, you become someone who keeps promises to yourself. That is real power. Because when you trust yourself, you don't need to wait for motivation. You act because it feels natural, because it's who you are. Think about a runner. At first, every step is hard. The shoes hurt, the body complains, the mind says, stop. But after some time, the runner doesn't think about pain anymore. They run because running feels right. It's part of them. Your consistency works the same way. At first, it's effort. Then it becomes rhythm. And one day, it becomes peace. There is a story about a man who wanted to learn guitar. He told himself, I will play only 5 minutes every day. For the first month, he played 5 minutes, then 10, then 20. One day, his friend asked, How many days have you practiced? He smiled and said, I don't count the days I play. I count the days I don't, because now they are so few. That is what happens when you stay consistent. You stop forcing yourself. You start enjoying the process. When you practice every day, you are not just building knowledge, you are building patience, focus, and self-respect. You are teaching your heart that change is possible. Sometimes people think growth comes from big moments, from motivation or luck or talent. But real growth comes from quiet days, from small steps, from the decision to keep going even when no one sees you. Consistency creates peace in your mind. You no longer feel guilty for stopping and starting. You no longer feel lost, because you know every small action moves you forward. It also creates confidence. Every time you finish what you planned, even something small, your brain learns, I can trust myself. And when you trust yourself, you feel strong. You stop waiting for the perfect time. You start living your journey. Consistency also creates results. But not only the results you can see. It builds invisible strength inside you. The kind that stays, even when life is hard. The kind that helps you begin again after every fall. So when you stay consistent, you are not only learning a language, you are shaping your character. You are writing your story. You are becoming the person you want to be. And one day, you'll look back and realize something powerful. It wasn't motivation that changed your life. It was the small decision to keep going, to show up, to stay consistent. That's the real magic. That's what consistency creates. So now you know the truth about consistency. It's not about doing everything. It's about doing something, again and again. You don't need big words. You don't need perfect grammar. You just need to keep showing up. Every small effort counts. Every small action builds something stronger inside you. Because consistency is not a skill. It's a promise. A promise to yourself that you will not give up. It's okay to be slow. Slow is not failure. Slow is steady. And steady is strong. Every time you practice, you are growing roots, deep and unseen. And one day, those roots will become flowers. Your English will bloom. Your confidence will bloom. And you will see how far you've come. Remember this. Motivation starts you, but consistency keeps you moving. Motivation is a spark, but consistency is the fire that stays. So today, start small. Choose one thing, one word, one line, one video. Do it every day for 7 days. Watch what happens to your mind, your focus, your heart. Because the secret to success is not in trying hard once. It's in trying gently, every day. And if one day you fall behind, don't be sad. Just begin again. Every new beginning is a chance to grow stronger. Consistency is not about being perfect. It's about being faithful to your dream, to your effort, to yourself. So take a deep breath. Start again today. Keep going tomorrow. Your future is waiting. One small, steady step at a time.